Hey, Leo, intuitive soul coach here with your June 2023 love and family reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, Leo, a lot of messages coming through for you. And one of the messages is quite specific. Now, I don't know the details of this song that they're giving me, so it may be some homework for you to look up and see how it resonates, or it could be that this is a song between you and another person, but they're giving me the name Ed Sheeran and the song Perfect. So whether that's a song you hear on the radio, or if you do look up the lyrics, there could be something there for you. Please take that as it resonates. I have no idea what songs he sings or any of the lyrics, but that came in very, very strong for you Leos out there. I'm also getting here keys, the energy of keys. So that could mean two things. Physically, some of you may be being handed keys to a home, to a vehicle. I mean, this could be symbolic for the keys to your heart, being able to open up a new opportunity. So let's dive in and see what this means here for you. All right. So we have, in the recent past, we have fertility, and we also have creativity with the water jug. So if you are looking to start a family, some of you may already have, this can include the physical act of pregnancy, but it can also be adopting a pet or an animal. This could also be incorporating two families into one, or blending of a family dynamic. I also sense that if you are single, so this is for those regardless of relationship status, whether you are divorced, whether you're single, partnered up, same-sex relationships, whether this is family dynamics, it doesn't matter. It's just the energy we're reading here. The water jug is about you being quite creative, Leo, quite fertile in your thoughts. And when we can get to that point of, that Empress energy, which it wouldn't surprise me to see that in your reading here, when we can get to that Empress, we are really able to manifest the things we want into the world. We can grow our garden, and you can nurture and water and look after the things you want to see grow in your garden, which is symbolic for your life, the things around you. I also sense in the recent past, some of you may have been focusing on filling your own cup. Maybe included in that cup was your career, your side business, self-help, maybe even diving into some shadow work, right? It's about you taking a creative approach to living your life on your terms. That's not selfish. That's about you knowing that, if the plane was going down, that you have to put on your face mask before you help the person sitting next to you. And that can be a difficult concept to learn when you are people pleasers, or when you've constantly done things for other people. This is the time for you. And it doesn't mean that you have to be single or you're selfishly, putting other people to the back burner. But I feel that if there's a situation that's not filling your cup, you're saying, well, that's not a priority at this time. So really fertile, really creative in the recent past. And I do feel here you're focusing on the cup that's still available to you versus the cups that have been spilt, such as that 4 of Cups energy, or even 5 of Cups. That we may see that in your reading as well. Now, in the present month of June, a very, very heartfelt focus here on love and relationships. So the heart is active this month. I feel like you're seeing the glass half full. There's a sense of optimism here. I'm getting star energy as well. So this is about you not giving up on those dreams. Maybe it's dreams to start a family. Perhaps it's dreams to move to the mountains, to the ocean, to move to a different country. Whatever this is for you when it comes to family and love, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It could be emotional connecting. I'm sensing as well that a lot of you are looking for intellectual companionship, someone you can talk to beyond just what happened today, right? It's someone that you can dive deep into, talk about the stars, the moons, astrology, right? I'm also getting here the infinity symbol, which is like an 8, right? So some of you, I mean, maybe your birthday's on the 8th. You could be in an 8 personal year, an 8 life path as well. You may be seeing 8s, or you may have a tattoo of an infinity symbol. So please take that as it resonates. Now, a lot of you are planning a trip. You may be camping more in June, or just getting out and about, but in a way where you're disconnecting from maybe society, disconnecting from your work, your responsibilities, just to rejuvenate, right? Because that's not what we come here to life to do, is work, work, work every single second of every single day and not have any fun. If you are blessed and fortunate enough to have a job that you love, then that's wonderful, but you still need a little bit of time to yourself, a time away from all of the mundane responsibilities here. So I do sense in the near future, you will be traveling or taking some time out to spend with loved ones. Now, this could be a camping trip. You could be traveling. There could be a road trip as well coming in here. You may have a get together around a fire, because you can see the fire there as well. There could be a reunion, celebration. I also get, for some of you, there could be like a 20th, a 15th or 20th reunion. It could be a 40th. It could be an 80th birthday party. I get something here that's significant, whether it shows up in the form of a birthday, a reunion, a school reunion, or a class reunion. It could also be a graduation as well. I know many of them take place in the month of June, so that's really nothing new. But for some of you, it's very significant. So there's some sort of significant event that may be taking place for you when it comes to family in the month of June. Now let's dive in, Leo, and take a look at the heart of the matter. What is the main energy for June 2023 for Leo, please? What do we have here for Leo? Someone in the family may be getting a new vehicle as well. Let's say you have a child who is practicing driving. I mean, it doesn't have to be a brand new vehicle. It could be, a used vehicle, absolutely, but someone may be getting or investing in a new vehicle. So what do we have here? We have the Ace of Pentacles, a lot of new beginnings, and we're going to use this card as the challenge here, but we do have strengthening bonds. Now, the fact that these come out together, I do sense that a lot of you are working hard on releasing the challenges that you faced, because you have the Death card showing up here as well. So a time of major transformations that lead to new beginnings, Leo, in your love life, in your family life, in your relationships. I also sense that some of you have been overthinking a situation, but the good news is you're coming up with a new creative way to speak to someone, to open your heart up to dating again, or to bridging a gap, strengthening a bond here. You're being quite creative, and someone may look at you and say, Leo, that's not like you to do that. Or Leo, doesn't that bother you? And you're like, no, I'm just gonna, it's not worth worrying about. It's not worth stressing about. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna have any worries and stress ever, but I do feel like you're letting something go that sometimes can be quite difficult for others. Now you have the Ace of Pentacles, and it's really interesting because typically I think it's the Ace of Pentacles and also the Strength card that sometimes we see that infinity symbol. So I love that this is showing up. I wonder if it's in this deck here, but I do feel that there is unlimited, not just potential, but room for unlimited growth when it comes to relationships, soul tribe, family dynamics as well. I get that some of you have dealt with infertility, or there could have been loss of pregnancy here as well. Please take that as it resonates, very specific, sending you out a lot of love if that is the case. But the Ace of Pentacles showing up here as your main energy is beautiful. It's a new beginning here. It's good news when it does come to your home, when it comes to possibly moving or hosting events, parties, because I am getting this energy of celebration. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the Four of Wands, Three of Cups, as well as maybe even the Three of Pentacles. So strengthening bonds this month is going to be your highlight, going to be your focus. Strengthening bonds with the people that are closest to you is what I sense. Now the challenge, Leo, can be resisting something. It can be letting something go. So for example, Let's say that you have a 15 or 16-year-old that is starting to drive, and that is a transition, right? It's a big deal, especially if this is your first child that is starting to drive. And there could be this energy of, I want to hang on, but I need to trust and I need to relax and allow them to have their freedom to grow and to learn and to fail and to succeed, right? It can be the same for a child moving out of the home, or it could be for a younger child going to school for their first time. Now, I do sense here that this is a big transition period for you, and this is all about releasing, not resisting the change, not over worrying. And I know that's difficult for you parents out there. I understand it can be very difficult, but I sense that you're taking something quite well here as well. For others of you, there could even be news of becoming a grandparent, right? You may have recently found out that someone in the family, a daughter, daughter-in-law, or maybe your son, someone in the family may be adopting, maybe having a baby, or there just could be this energy of being quite fertile in the family. And it's a transition because then you go from, parent to grandparent. So again, there's this shift in dynamic happening here for you, but I don't necessarily feel it being a challenge per se. It's just a challenge of, a new label. And that's all it comes down to. Now, this death energy as well is a time of an ending. Don't resist the change because there's spiritual growth here and evolution. I also sense if some of you are hitting a big number, as we just talked about, whether it's, a reunion and it's a 50th reunion or a 20th, you may be looking back and saying, wow, I'm having a little bit of nostalgia, 6 of Cups energy, right? Looking back and saying, well, I don't quite feel the way that I did 20 years ago, or I don't quite look the same. You still are beautiful and handsome inside and out. And there's this energy here of maturity, wisdom, experience. Be proud of that. Be proud if that shows up on your skin. Be proud if that shows up in your energy and in your environment, because you've come a long way. And sometimes people don't have, the gift of gracefully aging. There's a book that's coming to mind, and some of you that have trouble with aging, or if you are having trouble with maybe a mother-daughter dynamic, Christiane Northrup is an author. She's I believe a doctor. She's into the holistic side of things, so she can feel the energy as well as the science piece. She's absolutely amazing. I love her. Not here to sell anything. You could check out a book from the library if you want, but she has the book Mother Daughter's Wisdom, I believe, is one of them. And then also something along the lines of gracefully aging, or Goddesses Never Age. Thank you. Goddesses Never Age is one of the books. So if you are struggling with the aging process here, for some of you Leos, that could be something you may want to look into, or letting go as well. I'm also getting the book, The 4 Agreements, which came up in another reading. It may have been Cancer or even Gemini. If you have those placements, some of you may be dealing with a Cancer or Gemini, but it's important to take a look at the 4 Agreements. You don't have to read the book from top to bottom. You could also go on Google and ask, what are the 4 Agreements? One of them is never take anything personally, right? Because sometimes we do. We take everything personally, or we may take things personally from the people that, we love the most. And that can be difficult to let go of. And that's what's showing up here with the Death card. What do we have in the deep, deep past? What's the foundation here that you're built upon? Yeah, you have the Justice, Libran energy. This is detachment. Now, some of you may have left the home before it's the typical time to leave the home when you are younger. Some of you left at 16, 17 years old, 18, even earlier possibly. I do feel like you had to grow up before your time for a lot of you Leos out there. But in the deep, deep past, you've had to be independent on your own. You couldn't rely on anyone here. There may have been imbalance. You may have thought at one point or another, life isn't fair. But the truth is here that you had to go through those ups and downs. It made you who you are today. And I feel like who you are today, you're coming to this place of more peace. And the beautiful thing is you are understanding the art of letting go, right? And that's something that so many humans struggle with because we attach ourselves to people, to places, to things, to feelings, to emotions. It's a big thing that we deal with on earth. We attach ourselves to all of these things when really when we attach ourselves, it can cause resistance. And that's why the challenge for you is release. And if anyone can do it, I feel like it's you because you've had to do it, a big part of your life, right? But this is a time for you to take a look at that limiting belief of I have to do everything on my own. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done. Or I'm going to be single forever. Or whatever limiting beliefs that stem from maybe early abandonment or not necessarily having the emotional connections, physical connections, whatever this may have been for you very early on. And it doesn't even have to be familia or parental. It can be a relationship that you've had right out of high school. I am getting young love here for some of you Leos. Some of you may have gotten married very young, or you may have had children very young as well. Please take that as it resonates. But in your deep foundation here, you have this energy of justice. So balance. At times, you may have been in karmic relationships, karmic family dynamics. Sometimes I get asked the question, Melissa, is my family cursed? Right? I'm not a huge fan on the word cursed, but I do believe that we choose our family dynamic. And sometimes that bloodline or that family line is more difficult or more challenging because our soul chose to have the experience of whatever the challenges are. Maybe it's coming from a background here or a family line of addictions. Maybe it is, family struggles that have to do with abuse, right? Whatever this is. I mean, it can range from very, very extreme to, balance somewhat, but we all have those ups and downs. But I do feel here for you, you have this strength within you that you've had to tap into at times. So remember that when you feel like you don't have the power to detach, to release some of the pain, the stress, remember here that you do, Leo, because there's a brand new beginning coming in for you. One that's going to, I feel, it has the potential to withstand the tests of time, right? Whether this is a family member, a lover, or if it's a relationship that's been rocky your entire life, but it's a family member, this is a karmic cycle or relationship that is destined. Basically is destined, okay? Karmic relationships. Now let's take a look here at the recent past. Okay, they're giving me the name Maria, so that could be a middle name or maybe it's your name. It could be the name of a place. Please take that as it resonates. Five of Swords. I'm glad to see this in the past though, because it's not fun to see anywhere. I really don't love the Five of Swords. It's win or lose. It's a win at all cost mentality. You may have been dealing with someone who was just, over the top. They always had to have the last word. It was their way or the highway. This is someone who just fought tooth and nail to go against and push everything that you would even mention. It was almost like a teeter-totter, right? Someone would say jump and the other person would say, duck. And it was just the opposite of a teeter-totter here and just back and forth, back and forth. When the Five of Swords shows up, this is about poor sportsmanship. It can be bullying as well. Some of you were heavily, heavily bullied, whether this is teen years, middle school, elementary school. Maybe it was bullied by your siblings, maybe even your own parents. Okay, the Five of Swords is about abandonment. It's about deceit. It can even be about resentment, needing to walk away from conflict. And that may be your fight or flight style now because someone was constantly up in your face, right, in the past. And now you've been accustomed to knowing when to walk away or when it's worth it and when it's not. So again, wisdom, experience, and knowledge showing up here because they're showing me the books. Now, this has been coming up for a lot of signs. Now, I don't know if because we are waking on a collective level that a lot of us, I mean, we always have had access, but we didn't always know how to access it. I'm getting Akashic records, and the books have been showing up for a lot of signs lately. So some of you may be diving into your Akashic records. For those of you that don't really know what that is, I mean, you can do your research as well, but basically it's the access point to dive into all of your lifetimes, everything that was, everything that will be, everything that is basically an energetic recording of what has happened and what's going on, your blueprint, a divine blueprint, so to speak. All right, let's take a look. And I mean, you can dive into that, even go on YouTube. You could do guided meditations to access your Akashic records. Some of you may be wowed. All right, what are you manifesting here? Or what is it that you are kind of going a little bit back and forth with? We have the devil. It doesn't surprise me to see the devil coming up because there is a challenge here of releasing a situation, a pattern, a habit, an obsessive thought, or it could even be a person. Maybe you know that this person isn't good for you, but on a soul level, maybe it's a karmic cycle that you have to partake in. Now, I don't want to say have to as in the fact that you don't have free will, because of course you do. But if there is a cycle, Leo, that is going round and round and round and keeps playing itself out, then that means that there's still unfinished business. Now, you both have free will to choose. Do we want to evolve? Whether this is you and a mother, you and a sister, you and a lover, you and a child, you and a friend, whoever this is for you, right? Do we want to evolve? Do I want to obsessively think about the situation, or do I want to creatively head towards a new future? Because the devil energy is about you reclaiming your power and freeing yourself. That's what I feel you're manifesting. What is it that you're freeing yourself from? Well, whatever the devil represents for you. Something tempting. An addiction, obsessions, fears, manipulation, codependency, materialism, whatever this is, that's affecting your family or affecting your relationships or affecting your romantic partnerships as well. It's something here. And this isn't, you're not the first sign to have the devil show up, but I like that it's at least in the energy for you to acknowledge. And for those of you that are spiritually aware, for those of you that are on this spiritual quest of discovery, of awareness, of evolving, you're going to know what this is. You're going to know that it's something you're ready to break free from. You don't want to be in that never-ending revolving doorway, right? It's like walking into the mall and it has that doorway where you can just go in and go out, but it seems like you're never able to just jump on board. Remember in the very beginning of your reading, at least I thought I mentioned this, I was seeing the keys. I feel like you have the keys here to open up a new doorway so you don't have to keep going round and round. Let's get to the good juicy stuff. What's showing up in the near future? What do we have here for Leo in the near future? All right, Leo, near future. Yeah, you are confronting your fears. Whatever this devil energy is here for you, this strength card says that you have the strength to overcome the challenges. You've been at times resisting some sort of change, right? But you've had enough of the Five of Swords. Who hasn't, right? You're going to choose to win by leaving a situation in the past, whether it's an argument that you've had with someone, maybe it's an actual person or relationship, but I feel like you're moving to a new energy. Now, it doesn't mean that you're disconnecting physically. I mean, it can for some of you, but I do feel like you're taking a look at your strengths, your weaknesses, your impulses, your urges, and you are gaining control of what you can control. And you're releasing the things that you can't control. It reminds me of that old prayer. Is it the Serenity Prayer? God, grant me the serenity to change the things I can, and something of that nature. But I'm getting that serenity prayer. So some of you, I mean, maybe you've just said that prayer. Maybe you've heard it, or maybe you have a canvas on the wall that has that serenity prayer. Please take that as it resonates. But the strength card, you have what it takes. And did I tell you this? I can't remember if this was for you, but I keep seeing the eights around you, right? I feel like that was you, but I'm getting there, the 8, again, the infinity. All right. So you're definitely overcoming some of the shadows. No more self-sabotage. No more sabotage in general. And if someone is sabotaging the relationship or sabotaging the union, you're telling yourself that you need to free yourself from it because it's hindering your soul's growth. And that's not selfish for you to do. So many times I hear people say, well, I can't just leave. They're my family, or I can't do this because I owe it to them. You owe it to you first and foremost because it is your soul. I'm going to say soul responsibility and use it in both forms, S-O-U-L and S-O-L-E, your soul responsibility to focus on your journey, your path. You don't owe it to anyone but yourself to choose happiness, to choose to evolve. And even though people have helped us out and people can be blood, if they are disrespecting you, Leo, if they are jeopardizing, harming you, or holding you down from manifesting or achieving your soul's journey, your soul's purpose, your soul's desires, then that may be something you seriously want to take into consideration when moving forward. All right, let's get a look at you. How are you doing, Leo? How are you feeling here? Some of you really need to hear that. Some of you really need to know that you can choose you, that act of quote, quote, selfishness, which I really don't love that word selfish. It gets such a bad rap. Don't do that. It's selfish, right? Don't put on your face mask first in the airplane when it's going down. That's selfish. Tend to your neighbor. What? What good are you going to be if you don't put on your own face mask first? You want to find balance. This doesn't surprise me. We all want balance. This is about you being able to find balance within your work life, your play life. I am getting pros and cons. Some of you are weighing up the pros and cons. It could be, do I move my family here? Do I stay put? Do I take this job because it's going to benefit my family? Or do I continue building my business? Do I stay in this relationship or do I move forward? So again, pros and cons being weighed up here, which is interesting. Now, the Two of Pentacles, I feel like you're learning to stay calm and ask for what you need because you're not taking on everybody else's stuff. You're saying, hey, sorry, that's your stuff. You need to take care of that. I have my own stuff to deal with here. It's not, I can't add up. I don't want to take care of a fourth. Maybe you're already taking care of your children. That's a different story. If you have littles under the age of 18, then you do have a responsibility. But I feel here that if someone is 45 years old and they're still playing this Five of Swords energy with you, it's time for them to go off and live their journey and do what they need to do, right? For others of you, I do feel like you're trying to compartmentalize in a sense. You can see there's a ring, there's a rose, it almost looks like mountains here in the background. There's a book, so knowledge, Akashic records. There's something here with timing. You also see a cup. So everything we've been talking about here, that revolving door spinning here. But what can you take with you into the next step of your life, and what can you leave behind? So finding balance. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the environment. What's going on in the environment around you? All right. How would you like this, Spirit? Thank you. Okay. So you have the Hermit showing up right away. We're going to keep that card for the hopes and fears. It does look like you're doing some soul searching. Hello, much needed escape, right? With this camping energy. So some of you are getting out of Dodge. You may be getting out of the city, I'm getting as well. Some of you are going to the mountains or going to the water, which we talked about. I do feel like you're taking a little bit of time to do some soul searching, getting out in nature, grounding, centering, finding your balance. You may even be going on a spiritual retreat. The Hermit energy is about soul searching. And I do sense that some of you felt lonely, rejected, or withdrawn in the past with this energy here of detachment, but you're shifting this up. And I feel like you're going to come out of some sort of period here, Hermit energy. Thank you, Spirit. They're also giving me some of you are seeking a hermit. Now, it's not quite the same as a Hierophant, but I do feel like you are seeking some sort of counsel from a healer, it could be a therapist, it could be a trusted loved one, it could be a really good friend. There is going to be some intellectual conversing between you and another person as well, which is kind of ironic because the hermit is typically isolated or lonely. But I do feel here that there's opportunities, and you can see the two blue jays or the two bluebirds that are together. And so interestingly enough, that's the partnership, that's the interaction. And blue represents the throat chakra, which is all about communication. So I like that this energy is showing up in your environment. This is really great. And actually she is covered not just with nature around her, but she's also wearing a green robe and green pants. Green is the heart chakra. So some of you are spending some time in nature to reconnect with your heart, to reconnect with family, to loved ones, to the people that support you. You're grounding your energy, and I feel like you feel more alive when you come back to reality. But you're taking a step away, which you need. You definitely need. Now, the hopes and fears position, you do have the Two of Swords, refusing to see a situation. That's the fear. What if I am not able to see? What if this person can't see the situation for what it is? What if they don't grow? What if they don't learn? I'm going to fill you in on a little secret here. Leo, it's really difficult to understand that some people have come here on this earth, on this plane, to just experience life. They didn't necessarily come here to, I don't want to use the word evolve, because we're all evolving, but sometimes, especially those that are spiritual seekers, we come here to evolve, and therefore our lives can be quite challenging. But there's also people that come here just to experience life. That's why you see people who just, it seems like they're never getting ahead, right? It seems like they just are not, quote, quote, woke, right? It seems like they may be in constant in state of numbing, suppressing, going out and having, excessive partying, or they seem to be in the same energy they were 10 years ago. And that is something that we need to realize and understand. That's their soul lesson, their soul experience, not ours. And so if this is someone else, then there is radical acceptance required here on your end, that's their journey and that you have yours. Now, the hope is that you can stay in an energy of the head and the heart working together instead of opposite directions, because sometimes the head can talk us out of what the heart wants. And sometimes the head can say, no, Leo, you don't really want to do that. You can't really move to the mountains or the ocean. You'll be separated from the family. You'll be separated. You won't be able to work there. You won't make any new friends. Oh, just be quiet, mind, right? If that mind is showing up as mental chatter that sometimes is holding you back from leading and living with the heart as well, try to be friends. Try to have that mind come in and encourage you. Let that mind say to your heart, yeah, we can do this, right? We can work together. You have what it takes. You will succeed. Believe in yourself, Leo, and then follow your heart, because when those two become allies, that's true alignment. And that's what you want here to happen with the Two of Swords. Let's take a look at the final outcome. What's the final outcome for Leo in matters of the heart, June 2023? What do we have for Leo? I do sense there's a little bit of a preparation here, because who has a birthday coming up around, what is it, July or so for you, Leo, even August. So there's a preparation type of energy where you want to start fresh. But I feel like you're already ahead of the game here. You're already preparing for this fresh start now. What do we have? Yeah, you're ready to spread your wings. But absolutely what I just said here, Two of Wands, I said preparation and planning. That is the basic definition here of the Two of Wands. It's about being able to spread your wings instead of staying on your perch. staying in your comfort zone, right? Staying at the harbor. This is about you going out to sea. This is about you spreading your wings, flying out of the nest, flying off that perch, taking a leap of faith, another approach here to a brand new beginning, which you have with the Ace of Pentacles. So whatever it is that you are contemplating or thinking, go big. Go big here, Leo, because this Two of Wands is about making decisions that are going to benefit not just you now, but in the long run as well. And it will benefit your family because your family looks up to you as a role model. And when you lead and choose to follow your soul's path, that inspires others to do the same as well. So you're spreading your wings. I'm loving this for you. All right, Leo, let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle, and I will read to you the relationship message from the guidebook. Oh, wow. You have past in one way, future in the other. Hello, Two of Swords, right? This can be head and heart. It can be leaving the past in the past and, whatever doesn't deserve to go into the future with you, but you have this here and now card 32. Some of you may be 32 years old. You may be a life path 5 or in a life personal year of 5, or maybe you're born on the 5th month, or fifth day, not month. Let's take a look here. 32. This is all about being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. It's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now. One that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. So stay present and aware in this moment. As you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the joy of love in the here and now. Now, some of you are saying, Melissa, that's a dichotomy, or what's happening? You just said we're planning our future. Yes, I feel like you are preparing to make this leap. But as I say in all of my readings, it's about the experience. It's about the journey. It's not about the end game. It's not about the final destination. It's important to have our eye on the big picture, but it's important to enjoy the here and the now at every given moment in time, because we don't know when that moment's going to be our last, right? I'm also going to read to you the protection message, because some of you, I do feel you drift off in the past, because this past can be back and forth. And because the challenge is the release, the death energy, I feel like the protection message may be relevant for some of you. Please take it as it resonates. Whenever you find your mind drifting into the past, wondering if things could have or should have been different or better, or whenever you find yourself longing for the good old days, you leak power. You have power showing up in the near future, right? This is really important for some of you. The same is true of looking too far ahead and hoping the future will provide you with certainty. Driven by ambition, you might wander too long in a place with no substance and forget that you are here today. The past and future are illusions. Whenever you leave the present moment, you're disconnecting. Hello here, detach, right? You've had to do this. You've learned how to do this at a very young age, the deep, deep past. So this is very, very important for some of you that have done this. Whenever you leave the present moment, you're disconnecting from your inherent power to manifest your reality with true substance. Neither past nor future can give you what you need. Now is all that counts. Come back from those eternities and be here now. All will be well and miracles will appear as if by magic in perfect timing of spirit. Be here in the now. I love this for you. Very interesting. I'm also getting here, and it kind of looks like this. For those of you that have ever seen the movie Wizard of Oz, there's a part of the movie that there's these these eggs. There's like these fairy type creatures that are nesting in the eggs and they wake up. I get here that energy of you meeting specific people on your journey that are very helpful. Dorothy meets, the Tin Man. She meets the lion and the scarecrow, and she has her dog Toto. But I also feel like they all use their intuition to help lead them to Oz, right? And this is a time where you're at a crossroads. You may feel like you're at that crossroads just like they were in the Wizard of Oz, but it's up to you to choose which path. Now you may choose a path where you have a wicked witch over here hiding behind an apple tree. Yes, it's part of the path, but all paths are going to lead you in this direction. But sometimes we really need to focus on that path and what we're learning along the way instead of, reaching that land of Oz. But also be grateful for the blessings and the support through the forms of friendships, family members, resources, pets, animals, nature, everything we have here on earth that helps us on our soul's journey. So some of you needed to hear that. Please take it as it resonates. Thank you so much for being here, Leo. I certainly hope you like this reading. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly does help get the divine channel messages out there to those that need it most. Feel free to subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. Lots of love.